The speech was called When Howie Met Gary because of those two cases. The Howie case we've talked about. The Gary Plastics case was a case involving a CD, a certificate of deposit. And by statute, certificates of deposit are declared not to be subject to securities regulation. But in the Gary Plastic case, a CD was. And it was because it was repackaged and offered in a way where the broker was adding some services and creating an expectation from the folks that were buying the CDs from them that they would do more to that CD and give them a better return. So we titled it that because it sort of illustrates the point. Regardless of what you call something, a token or whatever, we're going to look at it on a principles basis. And so a CD, which is by statute not a security, could be a security. A token, just because you call it a token, doesn't mean it is a security or it's not a security. You have to look at the circumstances around the way it's being sold and what people are expecting when they purchase it.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a 20 to 30% crash across the board, which presents an incredible buy opportunity, at least for adept crypto enthusiasts, and even better is the case of one particular coin, XRP. Suppose you're taking advantage of the dipping trend to stack your bags with these coins. Well, congratulations. You might just be among the world's 1% to benefit from it when the cryptocurrency reaches a record high. More interesting would be when the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit settles. Then Ripple starts to etch its mark on the global financial system through its extensive cross-border remittance corridors. Then a $10 or even $100 price tag for XRP wouldn't be too much to ask for. Not only that, but the fact that an XRP priced at $100 would be life-changing is already exciting enough for those who buy in now at its cheapest. Meanwhile, there's this.
Afternoon, Shauna. That's right. SEC Chair Gary Gensler says that they need more money from Congress to police cryptocurrencies during a House hearing this morning on the agency's budget, while also stressing again that cryptocurrencies are highly speculative. Gensler emphasized again that he believes the SEC has jurisdiction over the vast number of cryptocurrencies, but that Bitcoin may be a commodity token.
So what is this talk about a likely settlement in the ongoing lawsuit between the US-based fintech startup and the United States financial regulators? It all boils down to a recent insider leak document that hints at a settlement sooner than we think. So stay tuned for more on that. Back to the news on that, and with the lawsuit, it says SEC can't confirm if video of Bill Hinman is actually Bill Hinman in the Ripple case. After reasonable inquiry, the information known and currently available isn't sufficient to enable the Commission to admit or deny this request, the SEC stated in court documents. Guys, this is kind of a funny one, as the SEC can't confirm or deny the video that features Bill Hinman in the infamous 2018 Ethereum speech. So let's take a look at that one. Once talks of the said statement began to unearth as evidential material in the lawsuit, and having accepted to have made the speech back in 2018, the former director of the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance, Bill Hinman, immediately became a critical factor in the long-running legal dispute between the SEC and Ripple over the alleged unregistered securities offerings via XRP. Now check this out. Did I hear that correctly? All of us at the SEC believe in Ether's real value in creating applications that could be accessed and executed electronically for the public, immutable record, and without any need for a trusted third party to verify those transactions. We see the value in that, and we see the potential for that to create innovation. However, the SEC is still yet to accept that statement, and the person in that video is actually Bill Hinman, despite the former SEC director being clearly visible and audible during the recorded interview at the public event, thereby dragging its feet on admitting the obvious in hopes of slowing the case down and buying themselves more time, as we've seen them do countless times in the past. Now, the reasons why they keep delaying the case and postponing settlement are yet to be known. However, we do know that Ripple is seeking the court to order that the request for admissions either be admitted or the SEC provides amended responses. Keep in mind that these requests for admissions are part of the discovery process that would help one party obtain or disclose information to or from the other party before trial. And this piece of news here is from Cointelegraph. Moving on to the tweet from Stefan Huber, Just as linked in that article, Mr. Stephen Huber, who is also an advocate and ardent XRP proponent, like attorney John Deaton and others, tweets that, "The SEC will neither confirm nor deny that this is Bill Hinman. I hope this is all just a bad dream. Is this really the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States of America? Is this what the SEC needs $2.5 billion budget for?" The screenshots of the filed document by Ripple's legal team, as included in that tweet, highlight a couple of things, such as this one that reads, "Subject to all of the foregoing objections and after reasonable inquiry, the information known and currently available isn't sufficient to enable the Commission to admit or deny this request." Going into that piece of documentation filed by the Ripple Counsel last Wednesday, and if we scroll down a little, starting from under the title Specific Objections and Admissions, we find that it reads, on multiple accounts, "Subject to all of the foregoing objections, the Commission denies this request." This motion to compel requests for admission filed by Ripple Labs counsel in the lawsuit, Debevoise and Plimpton, advises the court to take action since the SEC, in a quote, has failed to respond in accordance with the applicable rules as to 53 RFAs on important subjects where there is no real dispute. So basically, the said video, which was a video on YouTube referenced by Ripple's legal team, appears to have been uploaded by the interviewer, Chris Brummer, a Georgetown law professor. And let's take a sneak peek into that video.
Last summer, spoke a little bit more about how we were looking at some of the more decentralized and seasoned digital assets like Bitcoin and Ether on the Ethereum network. And we made it very clear that at this point we don't see a reason to regulate those as securities or transactions in those instruments as securities at this point. I know we're going to get into more detail on this, but that was another part of our exercise in terms of making it clear to the market how we look at these.
If it's any consolation in the account that this interview by Chris Brummers, which dates back to 3 years ago and bears just the same name, profile picture, and links to all of the former SEC directors' professionally affiliated websites, is enough to confirm the authenticity of that video. And if it isn't, then why not seek the counsel of the said interviewer to ascertain whether or not this video is fake or real? But no, the SEC wouldn't come through with that. Neither would they make any valid response to that other than turning a blind eye. So now you get why the Ripple Counsel in court demands that these requests for admission either be admitted or the SEC provides amended responses in place of that. Now, what's this budget that we've been talking about? Well, here it goes. A couple of days ago, the SEC chair addressed Congress, requesting funding with a $2.5 billion budget. It says here, SEC chair uses crypto enforcement and justification for FY 2023 budget. "We're not trying to grow really significantly, but resources to grow at least 6% to grow our enforcement arm in this space," said Gary Gensler. Guys, let's take a look at this video where Gary Gensler addresses the members of Congress, saying that the agency needs more funding to reinforce the commission towards policing cryptocurrencies during a House hearing over the past week on the agency's newly released budget. The said document that houses President Biden's fiscal year 2023 budget request for SEC operations is an 11-page file where Gary Gensler states, "Thus, I am pleased to support the President's fiscal year 2023 budget request for SEC operations, totaling $2.149 billion, an 8% increase over FY22. This request would allow us to maintain current services, add full-time equivalents in critical growth areas, and devote more resources to technology. This number would support a modest growth of about 6% in full-time equivalents above our previous peak in FY16, assuming consistent vacancy rates."
The speech got a lot of attention because it was the first time we had expressed to the world that we didn't view Ether as a security as it was then currently being offered. We're not talking about the original offering, and we're not talking about what it may evolve to over time or if someone repackages it or does other things with Ether. But we're saying at the current time there wasn't really a need to regulate Ether as a security in our minds.
There was a gentleman in Florida that put up citrus groves and started to sell them, and the Supreme Court had to decide what is an investment contract, because an investment contract is a security. This four-part test, in my mind, suggests that most, maybe not all, but most initial coin offerings are securities, because they're investment contracts where there is an exchange of money, there's a common enterprise, You're relying on somebody else's expertise for profits. This is why I've earlier this year said I think that most of them are. I think Ether, when it was done in 2014, would pass this test. When I say pass, it means it's a security.
Just as we've seen, high-ranking officials of the SEC, such as former Director of Corporation Finance, William Hinman, who had earlier confirmed that Ether was not a security. In contrast, we see a video from the past where the SEC chair, during his days as a professor on blockchain technology at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Sloan School of Management, confirming that Ethereum is indeed a security. Both these past and present SEC officials, who had at some point had varying perceptions of Ethereum while in office, are now seen to be going against their own words, hence breaking their sworn oaths to protect and uphold investors' interests at all costs. You make up your own mind. But that's all I got for you today. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next video.